Dear scholars, here is our next lesson 2.4, Three Visions for India. Here the word vision means a dream, three dreams for India, or it means an ideal, or the ability to make great plans for the future. So, what great plans are there for India, or what are the dreams for India, three dreams for India, that is given in this lesson. Actually, this lesson is the part of the draft of the speech of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man of India. So, what visions Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had for India, that is given in this lesson. So, before learning the lesson, here we have to go through warming up, pre lesson activities. So, here is the first activity. Let us see. Read the preamble of the Constitution of India given in your textbook. Pick out words that refer to the following. So, preamble of Constitution of India is the soul of Indian Constitution, and where you will come to know that how Indian Constitution giving justice, equality to all the people in India. So whatever important words are there in preamble, their meanings are given over here. You have to find out the words from the preamble which mean the following words. So let me give an example. Brotherhood. So here the word brotherhood means bhaichara, bandhu bhav, and its similar word is given in the preamble, and that is fraternity. So Indian Constitution allows fraternity, brotherhood to all the people in India. Here is the next word, freedom. So in the preamble, for the similar to the word freedom is liberty. So liberty to all the people in India. So in this way, brotherhood means fraternity, freedom means liberty. So what words are used for the other phrases given from 3rd to 7th? You have to find in preamble of the Indian Constitution. So read it and find the suitable proper words. Here is the next activity, that is about language study or grammar. What is it? Finite and non-finite words. Finite and non-finite verbs. Verbs actually are of many categories. But here we have to think of action words or action verbs. So action verbs can be classified as finite and non-finite verbs. Before this, you came to know about transitive and intransitive verbs. They are also related to action verb. But here, what finite and non-finite verb means, that we have to learn. So let us see the sentences given below. First, I play football. Which is the verb in this sentence? Play. Next, he plays football. So here is the word plays. Next one, they play. Manish plays. So the word or the verb play is used in all these 4 sentences, but there is slight change in the second and the fourth sentence. It is written with joining s. So why it is, or what we have to do with this? Now think of the subjects. In the first sentence the subject is I, which is first person singular. In the second sentence, subject he, which is third person singular. Next one, they, third person plural. And fourth, Manish, third person singular. That is the noun. Three are the pronouns and the fourth one is the noun. So what you have to think of over here, that is given here, we notice that the verb play, as we change the person, what person, first person, second person or third person, or the number, what number, singular or plural of the subject. It means if we change the subject according to person, or if we change the person according to singular or plural, we see some changes in the verb. Just like if you think of the first sentence, I play football. So just subject is changed in the second one. What is it? He. So if we put the subject he, that is the third person singular subject, so the verb play changed into plays. That is what, due to the change in the subject, there is a slight change in the verb. So this type of change is related to the verb, and so this change of verb means that verb is finite verb. What is it? When the use of a verb is limited by the person or number of the noun or pronoun in the subject, we call it finite verb. In short, due to the change in the subject, if the verb is changing, its spelling is changing, at that time that verb is called as finite verb. I hope you will understand this. Now let us see what about non-finite verb. Here are the sentences. I like to play football. Here is the verb like and also play or to play. See the second sentence, by changing the subject. He likes to play football. So only the subject is changed. In the first sentence the subject is I, and in the another one the subject is he. So the subject change first person singular to the third person singular. Due to the change in the subject, we see change in the verb. The verb like became likes, and the verb to play remains same. So the verb like is change over here, so that is a finite verb, but the verb play or to play remains same. So there is no change in this verb, and accordingly it is called as non-finite verb. In short, if the verb is changing, its spelling is changing, that verb is finite verb. If the verb remaining same, its spelling remaining same, the verb is non-finite. Let us see the third example. They like playing football. So here the word like and playing, these are the two verbs. Next one, Manish likes to play football. So here, if you change the third sentence by changing the subject, if you change it, for example, if I put Manish over there, so how the sentence will become, the third sentence? Manish likes playing football. So again here the verb like has a change, it became likes, so it is finite, and the verb playing remains same. They like playing football, Manish likes playing football, we like playing football, she likes playing football. The verb playing remains same in all these examples, so that the verb playing is non-finite verb. So what non-finite verbs are seen in the sentences? That is to plus first form of the verb, for example to play. Next, ing form of the verb, that is v1 plus ing, and then v3, that is verb plus en or verb plus ed. For example, she has a stolen bag. She has a stolen bag. So if you change the subject she and put there Manisha, sorry, if you change the subject and make it plural, for example, girls, girls have stolen bags. So here the verb stolen remains same. She has stolen bag, girls have stolen bag. The verb stolen remains same, which is the third form of the verb steal. So the verb stolen is non-finite verb over here. So let us see 2 plus v1, v1 plus ing, v3 that ends with en or ed or something else, having plus verb plus en or ed are not limited by their subject, means there is no change in this form of the verb due to the change in the subject. Such verbs are called non-finite verb. Here is something more. In the sentences above, the verb play, to play or playing do not change or take s or es after them, even when we change the person or number of the subject. So in short, I repeat, if any verb in the sentence has a change due to the change in the subject, that verb is finite verb. And if the verb in a sentence doesn't have any change due to the change in the subject, that verb is non-finite verb. So wherever you find non-finite verb, there you will also find finite verb. So in the first sentence over here, the verb like is the finite verb and the verb to play is the non-finite verb. In the third sentence, the verb like is the finite verb and the verb playing is the non-finite verb. I hope you all will understand the difference between finite and non-finite verb. So do the activities, do these two activities given in this English warming up and write all this information in your notebooks.